I'm Glenn Waldrop, and this is an FPB Sports Special.
You're never really happy in life. You're a part of something bigger than yourself.
Now Kilborn, the tournament MVP, would sink both free throws.
These people in this room are the ones you're going to remember.
So it was really put away late in the first quarter, into the second quarter by Franklin County.
This place was built and will remain, okay, on the foundation that we, as Franklin County High School, set the standard in Frankfort, Kentucky for what gets accomplished athletically. Put your hands down. I ain't done preaching. Listen to me.
I loved every moment of it.
Hello, and welcome to a special look at the Lady Flyers basketball team and their great run in the 2015 season. Now, before we take a look at this season, we need to take a look back at where it all really started in the 2009-10 season. The Lady Flyers won the district championship and had their sights set on Diddle Arena in the Sweet 16, but they fell to Scott County in the regional final.
You don't mess with that kind of stuff.
Even after the tough loss to Scott County, it was a great season for the Lady Flyers as they finished at 25-8 and 15-5 in the region. But Coach Joey Thacker knew he had to keep pushing to make it to the state tournament, and he knew he had more players coming in that could help get him there.
Because I knew what we had. I know what we've got. All right? I know what we've got. I know what we've got coming. I know what we've had here. Together. 1, 2, 3.
Together.
Last season, 2014, the Lady Flyers again had the same dream, to get to Diddle Arena and the Sweet 16. But this time, after winning the district and getting into the regional tournament, they had a controversial loss to Lafayette.
When we lost 2 years ago, or well, I guess last year, to Lafayette, there was such hurt in that locker room because we actually felt like we just had something ripped from us. You know, I just felt like the officiating was horrible. I felt like anything could go wrong, did go wrong that game. And these kids will fight you. And so I sensed it, and people talked about it all year long, and I tried not to listen to them, but I really feel like that they were sort of on a mission, you know. But they're all so savvy when they want to be about the game. And those are hard to find in 2015. So Princess had to take on a new role, and Malek had to take on a new role and things like that. But I just feel like that the pieces to the puzzle were still there. Now, I'm not sure I believed it as much in November and December as I did probably from when we started playing our district games in January, because we hit another gear then.
The Lady Flyers finished the 2013-14 season at 25-7, 11-2 in the region, and 8-0 in the district. This season, the Lady Flyers played an incredibly tough schedule, but finished 26-7, including again being undefeated in district play. But that major goal was still there. Can we get through the regional tournament and make it to the state tournament at Diddle Arena at Western Kentucky University?
Kind of revert back to kind of how we played right before the district tournament, before the snow. I thought we really kind of hit our stride a little bit, even against good competition. And, you know, in the district tournament and even in the regional tournament, even in the final game, you know, we could put that 13-2 or 11-0 run on you, because when those five get going, everybody's versatile, everybody puts the ball in the basket, and everybody make plays defensively. So, and if anything else, they didn't get to play together enough in order to enhance those abilities.
Right after winning another district championship, we talked with Coach Thacker about the season and how they still had an ultimate goal, getting to the state tournament. Looking at your basketball team, you don't have a traditional team. You mentioned they're very versatile. You mentioned everybody can play really 5 positions. I talked about it tonight. You all are so unlike a lot of traditional teams because somebody can get a rebound. It doesn't matter who it is. They can push it up the floor off the bounce. Your team is built without a low post presence. but you've played a schedule to get really going into the tournament. How do you feel your team matches up going forward for the ultimate goal of getting to Diddle Arena in the state tournament in Western Kentucky University?
I like us. I think the layoff did us some good. I still think we got to get our sea legs back, so to speak. But, I just feel like that we're going to be a hard out for somebody unless they can just grind it in a half-court situation. And kids today typically don't want to do that.
The draw for the regional tournament was not an easy one. As a matter of fact, in Game 1, Franklin County faced a familiar foe, longtime rival Scott County. But Franklin County took control of this one and got that big win in round 1, 74-51 over the Lady Cardinals. That would set up a round 2 matchup with Madison Southern. And Madison Southern was just not strong enough for the very aggressive defensively Lady Flyers as they got after Southern and won 58-44, advancing to the regional championship game. In the regional final, Franklin County would have to go through Henry Clay. The Lady Blue Devils were an outstanding basketball team, and this one was one for the ages. It came down to the wire, but after a couple of free throws, Franklin County had the lead and held on and got to celebrate with that very elusive 11th Region Championship by beating Henry Clay 58-56.
Joey Thacker and the Franklin County girls taking on Henry Clay in the 11th Region title game. Final seconds of the game, Henry Clay down 2. Destiny Carter ties the game at 56 all. Ensuing play, Deja Kilborn draws the foul with 5.9 seconds left on the clock. Now Kilborn, the tournament MVP, would sink both free throws. The Blue Devils with the chance to tie it. Carter's layup skims right off the rim. Franklin County advances to the girls' Sweet 16 for the first time since 1980 with the 58-56 win. Here's Coach Thacker on the long road back.
I was in the first grade when all that went on. Just a resilient group of kids. We could have laid down with some foul trouble, silly turnovers, but man, we just kept running on going.
Once you get to the point where it's now late in the game and you go to the free throw line, it's always pressure late in the game to shoot free throws, but with the state tournament berth on the line, what was going through your mind as you told the strike?
You know what? I have no idea. I was just thinking, like, this has to go in. These are going to go in. I was actually shaking. Tried not to make it look like I was nervous, but I was.
So clock goes zeros, you win 58-56. Was the excitement more for what you had accomplished or what it was going to be like going through this situation going to the state tournament?
Both, really, but more maybe of what we've accomplished because we've been together for so long and we've wanted this really bad. We've all wanted this so bad, yeah.
It's kind of surreal. I mean, it is surreal. It's not kind of surreal. You think of all the kids you've coached before that were close, that kind of put in the labor to get this program where it is currently. And you think about, there's an old country music song that says, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. And I didn't plan on coaching girls. But the experience and the ride of it is the same. People can say what they want to say. To prepare a team and win a championship and do it, it's all the same. And, it was, and to be able to experience that with my daughter and my family, and, we had family in town that weekend. It was just the perfect ride, and these kids, they make it fun, and obviously that's the most fun as I've had as a coach, is watching them celebrate and being able to celebrate with people that I know and love.
It meant everything, and at the same time, it was like win or go home. So if we lose, go out with everything we got. But losing wasn't on our mind, and I told everybody in the huddle, we're not going home crying tonight, and we went out there and handled business.
After Franklin County won the regional championship for the first time since the 1980s, the players weren't the only ones excited. As a matter of fact, the school administrators and teachers were in a frenzy celebrating that regional championship. After the entire school celebrated with a pep rally and send-off, the Lady Flyers headed to the bus and for the trip to Bowling Green. And the excitement just continued for the players and the coaches. After the send-off, of course, it was now time to hit the floor and play the game in the Sweet 16. And it seemed like the entire community was supporting the Lady Flyers, especially those closest to the team.
It's intense, and it's awesome to see. I mean, it's one thing for people to be bandwagon fans. These kids have been supportive, most of the season. The regional tournament kind of got mixy with the snow and whatnot, but it's been awesome. If you could have seen at the pep rally the line of kids all the way out and taking them outside, I mean, it was a sight to see. They're behind them. I mean, you can tell you're going to have a couple hundred kids here, so it's pretty awesome. I think the most important thing to recognize is that, and Joey does a great job when he talks about it, this team has earned their way here. They're not a team that's blessed with a whole bunch of, Division I standouts that are all going to go play. These kids, they bust their tail every single game, and the message that sends back to kids at the school, I mean, all these kids are also academic stars. You're not talking about kids that just play basketball. These kids go to class every single day and make awesome grades on this team. And so it sends just a message back that it can be done. There are no excuses. Work hard, play hard, study hard, and they're the total package. It's the kind of team you can really get behind and be proud of. So
it's an incredibly proud moment to see Rebecca and all these girls, because they've all kind of become like second sets of kids, and I just wish the best for all of them. And it's nerve-wracking as a parent, and you're proud as a parent, and you just want it for them, because they've worked so hard. These girls really have. 6:30 in the morning or late at night, or putting in their own individual work, but they have worked so hard for this, and I just want it for them.
I was actually more nervous for the regional semifinal. Once they made it to the finals, I was fine, and they did great. But today's just cream.
Oh, it's great. It's like I said, it's been 35 years since the Connie Goins team came. They went EKU. They got beaten in the finals by Butler. And I'm a graduate of Franklin County in '63. I told my wife, I said, if Franklin County wins that region, I'm Bowling Green bound. Here I am. I'm over here cheer them on.
It's a great event for them. They will never forget this. And when I was in high school, we went to state. You just won't forget it. You just do not forget this. This means so much to them. These girls have been together since about 6th grade. They won an 8th grade state championship together. And they are just a wonderful, wonderful bunch of girls. They are nice, they're polite, they're friends. There's no drama. If there's any drama, it's very little bit. And they just love to play basketball, and they love to do it together. And they've been doing it together for years. So this is just a great achievement for them. Whatever happens tonight, whatever happens the rest of this tournament, these girls are a special, special bunch. And everybody in Franklin County ought to be proud of them.
From the opening tip, everyone in Diddle Arena could see it was not the Flyers' night.
Don't you quit on me, daggone it. You worked too hard, okay? Too hard. We can score 20 points in 3 minutes to somebody's nothing. I've seen it happen. Put your hands down. I ain't done preaching. Listen to me. You just have to go do it, okay? That ball doesn't weigh any more or any less than what you've played with for the last 32 games, all right? That rim's not any higher, that lane's not any wider. Listen to me. Play your rear end off for 1:27 or how long you got, okay? It is what it is. It is what it is, okay? Listen. It's all right. You know why? Because God bless everybody in the Commonwealth of Kentucky next year. That's why. All right? Okay? All right? Okay, let's go.
Franklin County played hard, but came up short. And after the game, the players and Coach Thacker had these comments.
No, I just thought that the bright lights got to us a little bit. We played extremely hard. We couldn't get the ball to go in the basket. And then, Morgan Rich is a kid that obviously we had a hard time with. We let her get off to a fantastic start, and she scored in a variety of ways. And I guess intermediate shots, they all made those, and that put us kind of behind the 8 ball. And then, we're really, and you saw spurts of that in the second half, a team that can get into our traps and defensive stuff off makes, but it's hard to do that off misses, and we couldn't get any kind of rhythm defensively and turn them over because we couldn't score.
It's real exciting, but we didn't do what we needed to do to get to the next game. I feel like we have a bright road ahead of us, so we just got to do the little things.
I think it's a great honor to be here. I think winning the region was our goal, but then once we got here, we realized that we had the opportunity to go on a run, and we just didn't play nearly as well as we normally play, or as I know that we can, and not being able to hit shots really hurt us. Like Coach Thacker said, like, we're a team that needs to be able to hit layups and shots to where it can get into our defense and our presses, and we just couldn't get the shots to be able to set up in those defenses. So I think that really hurt us.
This is usually a pretty loose bunch. They weren't real loose in the locker room before the game. That's kind of a red flag. But they're winners, and I got a feeling that we'll be back to see the bright lights soon enough.
After the season, we were able to sit down with some of the players and Coach Thacker. We were able to talk about the season and put in perspective what a special year it was.
I mean, it was something we had never experienced before, and I think it's something our school had never experienced before. We all just kind of came together, and they supported us a whole lot.
You know, you do it to hang banners, and you do it to get kids free educations, and you do it to make them better. You know, it's not about the moments, it's about equipping them for the moments. And when those moments get there, you know, there's a sense of satisfaction. And it's been tough, you know, and to split the time that I've had to split really with Natasha's situation over the last couple of years, you know, these kids kind of carried us during that time. And just, you know, you just kind of wonder, sit back and wonder, you know, if you really deserve it all. And I'm awful fortunate to have the ones I have. And we're fortunate to have gone through what we've gone through as a family and as a coach with these kids and their families, because it's such a close-knit bunch.
I've been there to watch the games before for the state tournament, and that's just a neat experience being there. But being on the floor and ready to play is just a completely different experience, and it was something we hadn't experienced before, and it was a really neat experience. We were nervous. It was the first time Coach came in the locker room, and everybody was quiet. He was trying to get us to stop being nervous, but it just wasn't working. We usually joke around, play music, everybody laugh, me and Malika telling jokes and all that. But at the time, first time there, we were all just nervous.
We were very nervous. Like, I started crying right before the game started. But I think since we've been in the environment, I think we'll play better and be okay.
I think it's really disappointing knowing we could have gone further and done better, and we could have played better as a team, but I think it's just pushing us more for next year, knowing that we can go further next year.
I thought I wasn't that nervous at first, but once I got out there, my emotions just went crazy. My adrenaline was rushing. Felt good, but came up short.
Well, the biggest thing is, obviously besides getting there, is you won when it counted against the Lexington schools. And for 40 out of 45 girls regional tournaments, it's something like that. But it's gone through Lexington. You know, Woodford County's done it a couple times, Madison Central done it a couple times, and Scott County's done it once, and that's it. So that, being able to compete in Lexington, and we've been able to do that since I've been here. You know, we haven't lost a lot of Lexington teams. So I think that helps. I think it allows our younger kids and our little AAU stuff and middle school stuff to dream a little bit, maybe a dream that they hadn't really thought could be a reality. And I think these kids brought this school together like I haven't seen, and I've been here a while, in 5 days' time, that really reminded me of the days when Gary Moore was here and I would come in here as a visiting coach, and this place would be packed and you knew what you were going to get on the scoreboard. So I think they kind of revived all that.
I think we'll have confidence knowing that we can get there again, and we'll still have to work and put in extra time and push ourselves to get there. But I feel like we know we can, and it'll be a completely different experience next year.
We're so used to each other. We're being around each other all the time. We're all close. We all, inside of basketball, outside the gym, we're all close. We're always together. So kind of after it was over, We just got back, and I don't think, you know, the first day we got back not having practice, I don't think we knew what to do.
It's different when you can hold a carrot out there for somebody that's never gotten there, and in the back of their mind, yeah, that sounds nice, but do I really have to do this? And now that they've done it and they've gotten to experience it, hopefully they want another taste of that.
I was at like a 30%. Like I couldn't play defense how I normally play, and I feel like I'm the one that gets the team going when it comes to defense. So, and like the player that was scoring all the points, like we couldn't stop her, and I just was upset because I felt like I could have if I would have been like 100%.
I honestly agree with Coach Thacker. I really do think it was the bright lights. I mean, we all were really nervous, and we didn't get done what we had to do. Everything I mean, I knew this year we did good, but I knew we could do better, and I feel like giving us another chance is just, we have everyone back, just exciting. Just looking forward to next season already.
The reward of seeing a bunch of kids that do things the right way be rewarded for that. It's real easy to have a group that are in it for themselves. We've had some kids like that over the years, but the only thing that mattered to this bunch for those games that we played this year was what the scoreboard said. And in the end, that's why we're here, you know, is try to win games. And I would say rewarding because you're not going to get kids like this in your career very often, and we're lucky we've got 15 of them. The great part about our team is they'll find a way to bounce back from it, and obviously we've got to wait, you know, 6-8 months in order to start doing that, but they will.
It was a great run by a special group of people, and next season virtually the entire team comes back, so we can expect Franklin County to make a deeper run, hopefully, in the Sweet 16. Until next season, I'm Glenn Water. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be right here for all the basketball action on FPB TV.